On live air, Emma Grede looked Meghan Markle in the eye and said, "You're not royal anymore." The moment was unscripted, sharp, and absolutely chilling. During an interview on Emma Grede's rising podcast Aspire, what began as a seemingly polite conversation took a dramatic nosedive when Emma refused to acknowledge Meghan's royal title on purpose. With a disarming smile and piercing tone, she cut through the formality and dropped a bombshell. "You're not royal anymore, right?" Meghan's face froze. Her expression said everything. In the seconds that followed, the air turned electric. What led up to this brutal exchange? Why did Emma take such a direct jab? And how is Meghan now scrambling behind the scenes? Stay tuned. We have the receipts, the reactions, and the fallout. This wasn't just a podcast. It was a public dethroning. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. It was supposed to be just another conversation. A classy, contemporary sit-down between two women who had both claimed their place in the spotlight, one through the corridors of royalty, the other through the battlefield of entrepreneurship. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, had joined Emma Grede on her podcast, Aspire, for what many expected to be a carefully curated display of mutual admiration and female empowerment. After all, that was the tone Meghan had successfully struck in so many of her previous media appearances, whether through her own Archetypes podcast or her interviews with high-profile media figures. But this time, something went wildly off-script. Listeners and viewers were scarcely 5 minutes into the episode when the tone shifted sharply. Emma, without so much as a dramatic pause, cut into Meghan's usual introduction and said, with unmistakable clarity and confidence, "You're not royal anymore, right?" The words weren't framed as a joke. There was no laughter, no softening, no apology. Just a simple statement delivered with the same tone one might use when pointing out that someone no longer works at a particular company. But for Meghan Markle, who has built much of her post-palace persona on the power and prestige of being a duchess, those 6 words landed like a sledgehammer. There was a brief silence. Meghan's smile froze, her eyes flickered, and her composure visibly cracked, just for a second, but enough for audiences around the world to notice. And within hours, that moment went viral. Clips of the exchange flooded TikTok, X, Instagram Reels, and YouTube, spliced with slow-motion replays, meme overlays, and side-by-side comparisons of Meghan's past interviews. Headlines sprang up across entertainment blogs and mainstream news sites. Fans and critics alike debated the meaning, the motivation, and the fallout of Emma's pointed refusal to call Meghan by her royal title. In that one, unplanned moment, Emma Grede had done what no journalist, celebrity, or royal commentator had yet dared to do. She called out the illusion, publicly and unapologetically. But to truly understand why this moment hit so hard, we have to peel back the layers. This wasn't just a random clash of personalities. This was the collision of 2 very different definitions of power. On one hand, Meghan Markle, a woman who stepped into the royal family and then just as quickly stepped out, yet continued to wield the symbolism of royalty in every move she made. On the other hand, Emma Grede, a self-made business mogul who has built empires without a tiara, without a palace, without privilege. And when these 2 worlds collided, something cracked. What followed wasn't just a moment of awkward podcast tension. It was a cultural reckoning. From the outside, it may have seemed like an innocuous remark, but in the media-savvy world of Meghan Markle, every word matters. Her titles, her phrasing, her curated image, they're not just part of her public identity, they are her brand. The royal title, even after the infamous Megxit, has remained at the forefront of how Meghan presents herself. Whether on Netflix documentaries, red carpet appearances, children's book covers, or philanthropic press releases, the word Duchess appears again and again. And while many in the press have questioned the ethicality or authenticity of this continued use, few have dared to challenge it face to face. Until now. Emma's decision to reject the royal label wasn't merely casual or careless. It was loaded. It was a mirror, held up without permission, reflecting the complicated reality that Meghan has tried desperately to control. And that's what made it so powerful. Emma didn't shout. She didn't mock. She didn't need to. All she did was state the obvious, and in doing so, she punctured a narrative that had been carefully protected. But who is Emma Grede, and what gave her the authority or the audacity to take such a stance? To understand the depth of this moment, you have to understand who was sitting across from Meghan. Emma Grede is not just a podcast host. She's not an influencer chasing a